be wrong of us to not do a bit of future gazing. So this session is looking at taking audio and entertainment into the future and looking at the next 5 years. And our first session is looking at the sound of success, mastering sonic branding. We've done a few sessions like this with Trisonic. They've always been really good, so no pressure at all this time. I'm sure it's going to be even better. But to tell us more, please give a warm welcome to Matt Hopper and Grace Hammond.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. They said make this session fun and interactive. It's 10 minutes long, and it will require a bit of audience participation, nothing too complicated, shouting out a few brand names and putting your hands up when we ask for a show of hands, okay? So, audio branding. Why bother? Why bother with audio or sonic branding? Well, I'll tell you why. Building brand equity is all about using or presenting a consistent personality for the brand. And you do that by using distinctive brand assets, which we'll shorten today to DBAs. Things like your logo, your tagline, your font, your colors, etc. And a voice, maybe, in terms of audio. But there's one that's more powerful than all of those, and that is music. Music is better at conveying personality and emotion than any other DBA. It also works in the subconscious, and the subconscious is where 95% of purchase decisions are made. So it's already becoming a bit of a no-brainer that you use music in your campaigns. And a study by Leicester University a few years ago discovered that brands using music aligned with their brand are 96% more likely to be remembered. So for memory, recall, brand salience, music is the thing. And music even works in terms of portraying your brand personality when your brand can't be seen. And I've got a little test for you now. This is the first bit of audience participation. I'm going to play 3 sonic brand cues for 3 well-known brands. I want you to tell me which ones they are. I'm not going to show you their logos or anything. Okay, here's number 1. Thank you. Number 2. Intel. Indeed. So you didn't have to see them. You already know the brand. It makes you feel a certain way about the brand. And the key to all of those is consistent use over time. Intel have been using that for over 30 years, McDonald's about 25 years, Netflix since Netflix was invented, or at least in its online form. So in terms of campaigns, generally speaking, what DBAs are being used most? And you can see by this graphic that the most used DBAs are visual. Their logos, their colors, their fonts, etc., taglines. The least used are sonic brand cues and music. Now let's look at which the most effective are. I said that music was the most effective distinctive brand asset, and you can see here it's got an exceedingly good uplift on recall compared with the visual distinctive brand assets. So there's a very good reason, or several good reasons, to be using sonic branding. How does it work, though? Well, the amazing thing about music is that it's taken in by the brain super fast. 13 milliseconds is all it takes for music to connect with your brain. And that's because it's kind of hardwired. The auditory cortex is hardwired, if you like, to the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that processes emotions, and the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that processes memory. So it's a really good shortcut to your target audience's memory and emotions. Music, if you like, creates an audio fingerprint for your brand. And it works best, as I said earlier, with the likes of Netflix and McDonald's. It works best when it's used consistently, not only over time, but over all channels. So not just broadcast ads, but also point of sale and any other opportunities where audio can be presented to your potential customer. It makes sense to present the brand's sound to them in that way. You can use those short sonic brand cues. You can use long-form music, commercial tracks, or indeed a mix of the two. But sonic branding works best when it's tested, because you need to make sure you're going to use the right track. And this is where we bring Grace from Soundout in. And you've been testing music for over 10 years, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. So we specialise in testing those sonic logos, those cues that you've shown us, but we also do lots of testing for advertising. So when you've got your creative and you want to get the perfect track, Soundout come in and help measure.
So what are you looking for when you're testing?
So the most important measure for us is the brand fit. So that brand personality that you described, does it match your brand? If you're strong or authoritative, or if you want to be trusted and warm. So we match how closely your brand values fit with the track. We also measure the emotions, so how it's making you feel. So do you want something to be warm and inviting? Do you want it to be, if it's for an advert, you might want it to be more moody or something else. The next thing we measure for is memorability and then distinctiveness. So if you're testing a sonic logo, you want people to remember it. So if they can't remember it, they're never going to attribute it to your brand, and that's the most important thing about having a sonic cue. You want someone to remember your brand. So we test, can they remember it, and in commercial settings, can they attribute it to your brand as well. And finally, we look at appeal. So appeal is really important in all music. If people don't like a song, they're not going to remember it, and then they're not going to attribute it to your brand. So we also know that appeal drives the emotional values that the track portrays. So if you have a song that you love, it often can be really cheerful and really happy, or other emotions as well.
And you test not only those short sonic brand cues, but you test commercial tracks that brands may want to combine with their sonic brand cue to convey a certain kind of feeling in a campaign. So we're going to try a little bit of brand matching here. The brand is HSBC, and there are 3 commercial tracks I'm going to play clips from, and I want you to tell me which one you think matches the brand most accurately. A bit Radiohead. Tame Impala, number 2. And number 3, Miles Smith. So, which one do you think matches HSBC most accurately? Radiohead, hands up. Okay. Tame Impala, hands up. Oh, good showing for Tame Impala. And what about Miles Smith? Well, which one do you think they'd go for? I think Tame Impala. I've lost my visuals here on the screen, but I'm going to click anyway, because that will reveal the result. Hang on, we've gone back one. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
Radiohead was the match in this case. The track is a good match on the scientific component, if you could slip on, click on. And the track is probably too warm and natural, but a good fit on some of them. To be honest, you can get better than 73.
So anyone who guessed Radiohead, give yourself a prize. Now, completely different type of brand, Chanel. We've got 3 more tracks for you here. Doja Cat. Lana Del Rey.
Will you still love me when I'm no longer beautiful? I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the bad.
And Billie Eilish. So hands up for Doja Cat. No, one person liked Doja Cat. Lana Del Rey. Big showing for Lana. And what about Billie? Lana Del Rey wins the day in the room and won the day in the test as well.
Yeah, again, a really strong match here, almost perfect on this one. Different imaginative, strong, matches across the board.
Excellent, okay. And when you're testing sonic branding, do you use are you using AI now, or is it a panel, or is it a combination?
We use both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, short session, so why bother with sonic branding? As you can see, a lot of people don't bother with it. Why bother with it? Well, you're 96% 30% more likely to be remembered. You're 3 times, your music as a DBA is 3 times more effective than visual DBAs. Music is better at triggering memory and emotion, and it works great when you can't be seen. So test it and use it. And before we go, we're going to do a little round of sonic bingo. I'm going to play 6 sonics. I want you to tell me which the brand is. Okay, a nice, easy one to start with.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, I thought I'd started easy. Okay, number 2. Anyone? Asda, nice one. Yes. Number 3. Cinch. Well done, sir. Number 4. Can we have that? Can I get that one again? Yeah, good one, yeah. Number 5. And again?
I know.
These guys spent over, how many million on this?
Many.
So, come on, you've got to get this. MasterCard, yeah. And finally, I bet you hear that every day if you watch streaming services on TV. You got that? Prime. There you go. Thank you very much, and I think we're out of time.